Dear colleagues, we continue. Please welcome Presidential Administration Spokesman for ATO matters, Colonel Andriy Lysenko. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. The trend of the last days is enhanced concentration of living force and heavy military equipment of the enemy on key segments of the front line. First of all, around Vukhlehirsk, the northern part of Horlivka and western neighborhoods of Donetsk. And these areas of defense, the enemy indulges in armed provocations, while on other segments of the front line the situation is relatively calm. In Lugansk direction, several sporadic military provocations were carried by the enemy in the vicinity of Stanice Luhanska, Staroy Ardar, Zolote and Troitske. The bandits used only small arms and submachine guns with no heavy armaments used. Other lines of our defense in Luhansk direction, specifically the Bakhmutska road, saw peace in full. In the same time, information on huge concentration of Russian army forces in the borderline area has been registered. Our border guards have found Russian military equipment nearby Stanichno-Luhansky district, and 10 tented military trucks Ural were registered moving along the front line at the distance of 2 kilometers. On the next direction, the situation is the most complex in the area of Svitlodarsk and Gorlivka agglomeration. Our positions have been shelled with 120mm mortars and 152mm cannons. Because of such heavy equipment use, the enemy fire falls not only on our first line positions but also on residential areas in the rear, as well as some strategic objects of infrastructural objects like the dam in the village of Mironivsky. 2 women were wounded by enemy fire in Mayorsk. The women were evacuated to Artemivsk. There are almost round-the-clock fights going on to the west of Donetsk. From Avdiivka to Marievka, our positions were shelled from mortars and tanks. In the same time, no artillery fire from the enemy has been registered. There is a ongoing truce to the south from Donetsk. In Mariupol direction, the enemy held short-lived shelling of our positions between Komsomolsky and Volnovaha. Tanks were used there. There were also provocative firings carried out in Shirokine to exert psychological pressure on ATO military servicemen. In spite of certain moment of silence in Priazovia, Ukrainian Marines will be sent to enhance the defense lines in Mariupol. 8 flights of enemy drones were registered in the ATO area yesterday. For the past 24 hours, there were no casualties among Ukrainian military servicemen, but we had 5 wounded. That was in the direction of Donetsk. The Security Service of Ukraine successfully chokes down channels to finance insurgents. Likewise, the special service agent detained Luhansk Oblast residents who organized a currency conversion center in Kharkivshina to finance LNR bandits. The accomplices to insurgents were pretended to be couriers and directors of fictitious companies. They indulged in drawing cash from banking cards and using bank checks. The Ukrainian special agents prevented next transfer of money 3 million hryvnias were taken, and a great number of bank cards, checkbooks, and tax invoices for the total of 1.5 million hryvnias, as well as financial documents. Mobile groups of law enforcement agencies, together with volunteers, prevented 9 attempts to illegally smuggle goods onto temporarily occupied territories. They were mostly foodstuffs, low alcohol beverages, building materials, and scrap metals. They are either used to supply insurgents or sold at higher price to local residents. The law enforcement agencies found new stashes of military equipment, grenades, trotyl, and cartridges. A multinational military exercise, Rapid Trident 2015, is going in full steam with military servicemen from 18 countries, improving their patrolling capacities. Ukrainian military servicemen, in cooperation with Moldovan colleagues, improved their abilities to search areas and detain suspected persons. There are also tactical exercise of Ukrainian Navy on the Nikolaev region, and Ukrainian Marines marched to a designated area to organize installation of engineering equipment, masquerading in designated areas, and securing littoral areas of conditional enemy. This has been trained with close cooperation with tank detachment, anti-tank artillery, engineering units, and army aviation forces, as well as missile and cannon artillery. The exercises were attended by President of Ukraine Petro Poroshenko and top brass of the Ukrainian military. Our paratroopers are to receive a new complex to correct artillery fire in Dnipropetrovsk region. The complex will be used to collect and generalize reconnaissance information about the enemy using drones, and this will materially increase the efficiency of fire of our airborne fighters. Military medics are also participating in improving military capacities of the army. In Rivne Oblast, members of White Berets in Rivne organization had an intensive course on military medicine to prepare instructors. Thank you for your attention. I'm ready to take your questions. No questions? Then thank you.